Part 2. Azure Moon. Garland Moon. The Golden Deer's Plea. The Kingdom Army has reclaimed the Kingdom capital and plans to immediately begin restoring the country and its forces. But an unexpected request arrives from Claude, leader of the Leicester Alliance. Dimitri promptly responds to the request for aid, and he rushes to prepare the Kingdom's forces.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses. Last time we saved Fargus from the crazy lady, and Dimitri has rightfully taken his place on the throne as a king of Fargus. But as it just said, we got a letter from Claude as well, and apparently it's a request for our aid. So we'll see exactly what kind of aid he needs, and we'll try to provide that for him. So, once this loads, we'll get into it.
We have received a request for aid from the Alliance. They are being invaded by the Empire. We have only just taken back Ferdiad, and yet I am already asking all of you to move out once more. Please accept my apologies for that.
That's no problem at all. More importantly, how is the Alliance faring?
House Regan has rallied the Alliance Lords. They are facing the enemy with all the strength they can muster. We do not know how far that will get them. It seems the enemy's relentless attacks have forced them into a tough situation. Their defeated Gronder severely weakened the Alliance. I imagine the Empire now intends to destroy them before they can recover.
To think they'd watch us chase their soldiers out of the Kingdom capital, then immediately go invade the Alliance. Their general is Lord Volkard von Arundel. He serves as regent to the Emperor. He has presumably taken command after the Emperor was wounded in Gronder.
He is known for his shrewdness and excels not only in domestic affairs, but tactics as well. He is not an opponent we should take lightly. Lord Arundel. I always suspected that Lord Arundel was behind the tragedy 9 years ago. The timing of his departure from the Kingdom, the fact that he abruptly stopped making donations, too many factors made him suspect. If Lord Arundel conspired with Cornelia, then what Kronya and the others said 5 years ago? Well, never mind that for now. The Alliance needs our help. What are your thoughts?
If we turn our back on the Alliance and then Deirdre falls, it will undoubtedly make our situation difficult further down the road. We would have enemies in two directions, in the Alliance to the northeast, and in the Empire to the south.
That is true. In that scenario, we would not be able to safely march our soldiers to Enbar.
I am terribly worried about Lady Rhea, but I believe we must save the Alliance first. Oh, maybe if we do this, the Alliance will help us out in return. We could ask them to help us attack the Empire. You know, a sneak attack or something.
Annie, when did you become so devious?
What would your mother think?
What? It wasn't that devious.
What do you think, Professor?
Let's march.
Yes, I agree. I will admit that there is something to be gained for us as well, for when we eventually march south. But far more importantly, they need us. We cannot turn our backs on them. We will arrange to head out at once. Prepare yourselves, everyone.
Alright, so we're going to be preparing to march to save the Alliance. Sylvain's birthday.
Thank you so much.
We're just going to hang out with that. Alright. So, apparently there's a special mission in this month that we've got open to us. I think, honestly, Dimitri's good where he is right now. You have a 100% chance of becoming a warrior, and you gain stats as well. I'll have you take the exam. I'm not going to have you become it yet, because I want you to master Fortress Knight.
I passed.
You certainly did. Now, Ash. Do I need to be worried about you, or are we going to be good? Okay.
Oh, what a relief.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and change him into that. Mercedes. Let's do Holy Knight.
I'm so glad I passed.
You're still kind of going through all this. Oh, she's at 91%. Uh-oh. 1% higher than where she normally is. Alright. Lysithia, you're Flame, you're currently learning that. Okay, she's mastered that and I can change her class. So, as far as reclassing goes, we're gonna have you become a bishop.
I'm sure I'll master this.
Alright. As far as mastery goes, I'm going to switch this with Miracle. And I'm going to go to Mercedes. So what is this Defiant magic? Oh. Plus 8 magic when HP is 25% or less. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to take off Renewal, because that would just bring her out of it. And usually she isn't someone that gets hurt, so I don't know if that would be a good fit for her. Still, I'm going to give it, give it a shot, see how things go in there. But we got a lot of support conversations to go through.
Are you praying to the goddess of Fodlan? That seems odd. Won't the Dusker gods be upset if they hear you praying to another land's deity?
The Fodlan goddess was recognized in Dusker, too. The deities of foreigners are seen as the protectors of their respective lands. It has been said that we would offer our prayers to her in times of war.
Huh. So the goddess is part of a pantheon. I guess that's one way to interpret it. Anyway, what are you praying for?
For peace to come even one day sooner.
That's a lovely prayer. I was just thinking about praying for that myself.
I see.
Hey, Dadu, what are your plans for yourself once this war is finally over?
To serve His Highness for the rest of my days.
I thought you might say that.
And you?
That's a good question. I was thinking about traveling to Dusker.
To Dusker? There is nothing of interest left there.
Isn't it where you were born? And isn't it where your wonderful food and stories come from? I think those are reasons enough to visit at least once.
Mercedes. If you will allow it, I would like to accompany you. His Highness would surely grant me leave to go.
You really think so? Then I hope the war ends as soon as possible.
As do I.
We're going to have to shower the goddess with prayers. We'll pray that she watches over and protects us while we work to end this war. Then, when it's finally finished, we can travel.
That promises to be interesting. We should pray to the Dusker gods as well.
Yes, that's a brilliant idea. Which of the Dusker gods should we pray to?
For victory, we pray to the god of war. Or
Or?
just the god of war.
Come on, what were you going to say? Oh, I know. It's the god of travel, right?
Let us leave it at that.
I knew I was right. You taught me so much about your gods. So let's pray. For the end of the war, and for our safe travels to Dusker.
Man, Felix.
Sylvain.
Hey, Felix. I'm glad you're safe.
You irresponsible fool! Protecting me like that? You're so weak and yet you always...
Look, it doesn't matter. As long as you're safe. You can go on living, while I...
Stop kidding around! You're not going to die. I won't let you.
Nah, I won't die on you, I promise. You think something like this could kill me? No way. A little magic will take care of the wound. Some bed rest, then I'm good to go out and do it all over again.
Sylvain?
Oh, come on, that was funny. It's not like you to be so concerned.
You really are a fool. The biggest in all of Fodlan. I thought something was off. There's no way you could die from such a small cut. You're so reckless and inattentive. I thought this might be divine punishment.
Hey, that's not nice. You should be thanking me.
I am grateful. We've been doing this since we were children. Constantly fooling around, but then showing up and helping when we really need you. I'll admit, seeing that smile on your face, I almost want to give you a hug. Almost.
A hug? Did you get hit on the head? Come on. Tell me you want to hug me again. I liked it.
I won't be repeating it, you halfwit. You're obviously fine, so I'll leave now.
You know how we grew up together?
Obviously.
Do you remember the promise we made when we were kids? About sticking together until we die together?
I remember.
Well, I'm really not trying to get myself killed before you. You know that, right?
I know. But I'm tired of these close calls. You have to stop fooling around. Take your training more seriously. You can die whenever you please, but I'm not going down with you.
Okay, I get it. Once I've healed, I'll get my act together.
Then I hope you have a speedy recovery. Sylvain, thank you.
That's what friends are for, Felix.
Do you need something? Let's hear it.
Oh, no, I don't need anything. I was just hoping to talk to you, Felix.
When I said you could be near me, I meant on the battlefield. You're pushing it a little too far. You better not start calling me Emil.
You know, I'm not just using you as a stand-in for my brother. I don't mean to upset you. But I've come to realize that you two don't have that much in common after all.
I don't understand. Why are you hanging around me if not to replace your brother?
It's not that I want to be near Emil, but I want to be near you.
What?
How embarrassing. It must sound like I'm coming on to you. Regardless, you've made it clear that you don't want me around.
No. It's not that.
Good. Then I'll continue to spend time at your side.
What a perplexing creature.
What's that? Did you say something? Never mind that. Why don't we go out for a nice cup of tea?
I can't think of a reason to refuse your invitation, so I suppose I have to accept.
Why are you taking over my cleaning responsibilities?
You're wounded, and you're going too slowly. I couldn't stand to watch.
You're still fretting over me, are you? I'm fine now, really. It wasn't even serious.
I could have handled the situation alone. That enemy wasn't much of a threat.
Yes, we all know you could have. But I also didn't want to risk something unforeseen befalling you. I've been doing some thinking. I feel a bit lost. I don't know that I'm cut out to be a knight after all. Without fulfilling that dream, without being a knight, I've been asking myself where my place is in the world. And I think I found my answer. I don't want to lose anyone anymore. So I want to protect those I hold dear.
That's why you were protecting me, huh? What a fool you are.
Foolish to act in line with what I value most? Were I to die, I would die knowing I followed my heart, my truest calling. I've been reading through more of that book I was telling you about. Recall the hypothetical question it posed? Do you carry out the orders or protect your hometown?
You've been reading that garbage again?
The book never specified that one should prioritize the commander's orders. Instead, it suggested that one should follow their heart in the matter. That's what a knight, that's what anyone being true to themselves should do.
That's just the editor's opinion.
Of course, and I find value in that opinion. Glenn died following his heart, not heeding the commands of the country or even the royal family. His death pains me to this day. It was a tragedy. But had he survived, I think he would have suffered. I will follow his example. No matter the outcome, no matter the circumstance, I believe in myself.
You know nothing.
What is it that you know then? What is it you fight for, Felix?
My own beliefs.
I see no difference from my own stance.
You don't understand.
You fight to be stronger than everyone, that you might protect those you care for, correct?
Okay, fine. You do understand. My point is, don't let this happen again. If you died, I'd be annoyed.
To avoid annoyance, then, I suggest you continue to grow stronger. If that happens, I might allow you to protect me too.
You're insufferable.
So, Felix, is the tea to your liking?
It is.
It's nice to relax like this every now and then, isn't it?
It is.
You said some of your equipment is damaged, didn't you?
It is.
Are you not in the mood to talk? We could discuss your family or what's happening in high society. Flavors of tea? Your favorite jokes?
None of those. I already told you, I don't joke.
Of course, only cynicism. Oh, I know. We're holding a small opera in the cathedral soon. I'll be singing too. If you're interested in... but of course you aren't.
You can sing?
I'm sorry. What did you just say? Can I sing? I was only a diva of the Middle Frank Opera Company, that's all.
Oh, right. I forgot.
You forgot. Am I that uninteresting to you? What must you think of me?
You're insincere and loud, is what I think. But you do make a good sparring partner. And a good tea companion.
Oh.
Anyway, when's the concert?
It's an opera, and you don't have to come.
You just invited me. You can't tell me not to come. That's for me to decide.
Oh, then you must be there. I'll sing my heart out just for you.
I haven't said I'll go.
Are you going to come or not? If you keep teasing me, I might just pretend to cry.
Fine, I'll go.
Fantastic! I look forward to it.
But did you ever tell him when it was? Just saying.
There you are, Ingrid.
Whoa, hi, Ash. You seem excited. What's that you're holding?
A book I found in town. I bought it for you.
For me? Ash, this looks very costly. Antique books like this are never cheap. Wow. The cover is stunning, and the binding is still in fantastic condition.
I drove a hard bargain. Still, I'll probably have to cut back on my spending for a while.
Why did you go to so much trouble?
It wasn't easy, but as soon as I came across this legend, I knew you had to read it too.
Well then, I will read it. Oh, the knight on the cover looks striking.
Fascinating, right? I was captivated from the moment I laid eyes on the cover.
There's an aura of stoicism intermingled with beauty, even amid a gruesome battle. Wait, looking closer at the face, this knight is a woman.
Yes, and she was a real historical figure. She was born into a noble family and bore a crest, but she was accepted into the king's service as a knight. She fought in many battles at her king's side, serving him all her life as his right hand. Oh, sorry, I've said too much. I didn't mean to spoil the story for you. I'm just so excited. I hope you enjoy it too.
Thank you for the encouragement, Ash. Living as a knight is certainly not an easy task. I know it will mean much pain, strife, and heartache. But I still want to pursue that dream. Talking to you has reminded me. I'm not the type who gives up easily.
That's the Ingrid I know.
So to start, I'm going to read this book.
Great! When you're finished and freshly inspired, we'll talk about becoming knights. Not the ones in stories either. The real thing.
I look forward to it, Ash.
Who? Oh, did you? I was like, who else did she not do anything with? Oh.
And that should explain it. Did you understand all of that, young Annette?
I did. Thank you very much. Oh, but I was also wondering about this part here. It seems a bit off.
Questioning something like this is proof that your understanding has grown. Most impressive. Sit there, and I'll put this on the blackboard so you may copy it into your notes for later study.
Wonderful. I can't wait.
I believe that should explain everything, yes? Any further questions?
None. Thank you so much. I feel so great. I'm really sorry for taking up so much of your time, though.
Not at all. Not at all. Your intellectual curiosity is marvelous to see. And you have a top-notch character. Keep on as you are, and I sense a bright future for you.
Really? That's so nice of you to say. I'll do my best. I'm honored to be your student.
If only your friends would learn from your example. Yes, a classroom full of attentive, studious pupils would be quite refreshing after all these years. Have a good evening, Miss Annette, and do not hesitate to ask any other questions.
I won't, thank you. Goodbye for now.
Wait, you'll trip if you leave like that.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
All right. We've got quite a bit going.
The very same night we liberated the capital, a messenger arrived from Deirdre. Claude must have predicted that we'd retake it. Claude's a hard person to read. It's obvious not much escapes his eye, though. Kind of unsettling, honestly.
He's quite the character. And honestly, out of the three houses,
So war finally comes to the Alliance territories. I don't mean that there's never been fighting on Alliance soil, of course. There have been countless skirmishes between neighboring lords, as well as conflicts with Almyra. But this is an invasion by an army of the Empire. It's a whole different animal. I don't want to see my family get dragged into this. I hope we can drive back the Empire.
excuse me? Man. Well, that was just rude. Pushing me away like that. Alright. But, let's just go ahead and get this whole thing sorted out.
Whoa.
Harvest. Alright. Red flower seeds. I don't know how at this point in the game you could ever run out of seeds, but that's just me. Alright.
Professor?
Hello.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Deirdre is known as the aquatic capital. It's a beautiful town with streets that seem to float on the water and an impressive harbor. In times of peace, it would be a wonderful place for a holiday. Anyway, best of luck in the next battle.
Well, thank you.
What?
Hey!
Artesian.
Can't actually join you on the battlefield, but rest assured that we're there in spirit. We're doing everything we can to support the army, so give it your all out there.
Okay.
There's that. And that.
Hey, Professor.
Hello. Yeah. Nothing on the left side.
Deirdre, huh? I've always wanted to go there. In Fargus, most of the towns are pretty much glorified fortresses. So, to hear about a place called the Aquatic Capital, it just sounds so elegant. When the war's over, I hope I can visit with everyone there.
We'll help this out.
I went to visit my adoptive father at his home in the capital. He used to grovel at Cornelia's feet when the city was under her control. But after it was liberated, he started courting the kingdom instead.
That seems pretty good.
Absolutely. He's hopeless. I suppose when you're a merchant, that's all you know. No matter what becomes of the world, It'll always be plagued by people like him.
Which is unfortunate.
Claude, eh? He always was sharp among his peers. Never let himself get caught up in conventions. He wasn't typical in Fodlan. I'd like to save him if we can. I know. And I'm sure he's already calculated exactly when that will be.
More than likely, that's just Claude for you.
A hungry hero is no better than a well-fed soldier. Do you know that saying? No? That's because I just made it up. If you're hungry, you're never going to be at full strength. Keep your belly full and stay strong.
Alright. Let's see. Let's do this. It's not like I do this all that often anyway.
My cooking is so good, it's been called seductive. Should I show you what I can do, Professor?
Sure thing.
Right. I do so enjoy cutting up vegetables in preparation to cook. So I'll do that and leave you with the cleanup. Oh.
That reminds me.
Yeah, that's essentially just giving us not much, but some stats for the rest of the month. Let's do today's special. And Dimitri's not on the list at all. Oh, no, he is. He's just down there. Let's do flaming to do.
This is nearly as delicious as Mother's cooking. I would happily eat this every day.
I like this.
So descriptive to do. Alright. Let's do Dimitri and Lysithia.
Oh, this takes me back. I used to love this when I was a child.
Eating delicious food really takes my worries away.
And Ash and Dorothea.
This looks delicious. Let's eat.
I think I like this, but it's been a while, so I'm not sure.
Oh, fantastic. Really? Sedith is the only one? Alright, I ain't gonna worry about that. That's been taken care of. Let's talk
It'll
to
take
this
a little
guy.
while yet for the capital to be restored to its former glory. But it's not dead yet. Doesn't matter how many times you put the people of Ferdiad down. They'll get right back up again. Just you watch. Before long, things will be back to how they were.
Oh, that's good to hear.
What do you think? If you travel east from the Alliance and cross Fodlan's throat, you enter the land of Almyra. House Goneril's territory touches the eastern border of the Alliance. They also have Lord Holst, the most valiant warrior in the Alliance. Tasked with keeping watch over the Almyrans' movements, he rarely leaves Goneril territory.
They
Alliance leader is too demanding, and the prince is too soft-hearted, don't you think? They spilled much of each other's blood at Gronder. I lost a lot of friends to the Alliance. Sorry, I shouldn't complain. I know this is tactically sound. Everyone seems on board with it, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have any misgivings.
Well, I can understand that pain. I don't think Dimitri is too soft-hearted. Yeah, he's got a soft heart to an extent.
Right. Didn't they used to call Claude the Master Tactician? I want a nickname too. Maybe I'll get one if I can rescue him at Deirdre. I'll come up with a plan that's even better than his and earn a nickname for sure.
Oh, Nate.
There is still more to learn.
Alright. Oh, actually no one's there. Alright.
Let's see. It was over 20 years ago. There was an illness raging across Ferdiad. Our people were dying left and right. It was Cornelia who saved the kingdom from that dreadful illness. No, I hear she was originally an imperial scholar. She was in the kingdom by my father's invitation. People praised Cornelia as a saint for ending the epidemic. But there came a day when she completely changed. Her behavior, mannerisms, likes, dislikes, everything. Despite all that, Father still appointed her to a high post. After all, she had saved the kingdom from ruin by that disease. But above all, my stepmother trusted her. That's why what that woman said is... Never mind.
It's really not, Adam.
Lord Rodrigue Fraldarius has passed on. Margrave Gautier has assumed his position and is now gathering the lords of the Eastern Territories. House Gautier is equal in prestige to House Fraldarius. Sylvain is a Gautier. These lords are reorganizing the Fargus army and eradicating any remaining factions that claim allegiance to the Empire. Of course, His Highness is being kept apprised with regular reports, but it falls to me to monitor him and ensure he does not try to take on too much. I would ask you to do the same. If you take your eyes off that man, even for a moment, he is liable to do something rash.
Yeah. Always kind of seen him what he's done from the stuff he's done before, so...
Deirdre, the aquatic capital. I've heard it's a magnificent city, you know? If we're going, I wish it wasn't to wage war. It'd be more fun to visit with a cute girl on my arm. You're right. That's something to look forward to.
Wait, who says you can't go there after the war's over, you know? I'm just saying.
Hi.
I guess it's on the bridge?
Hey, you.
Yeah.
I was getting excited for our big Empire showdown. I spent so much time mentally preparing. Then we shifted focus to Deirdre. I hadn't been expecting that. But, as a knight who's sworn to serve the goddess, I cannot turn a blind ear to those who seek my aid.
We're still searching for Lady Rhea. No news on that, I'm afraid. Lord Arundel, the Emperor's uncle, is the regent of the Empire. If we crush them at Deirdre, maybe we'll capture him and wring some clues out of him.
That sounds like a good idea. That's better than running around in muck not knowing what to do, you know?
Well, please?
Just Dorothea. Alright. Yeah.
This is no good. Sing from your diaphragm. Lo! Get it? Lo!
I'll keep my voice down. Don't want people thinking I'm vying for attention. But how loud is too loud?
I heard that Deirdre is under attack. I hope Judith is all right. She may be the hero of Daphne, but facing the might of the Empire? I wish there was something more I could do. But I can only pray and hope.
Pardon me.
No. Incredible. Dimitri is going to Claude's aid. How great is that? It's like we've gone back to how things were 5 years ago. It's so nice. Just imagine if 80 was there too. I suppose you can't ever really go back to the way things were in the past.
No. I can't.
Need something?
I have no points.
See you again soon.
Alright. Fine.
My uncle gave me some of my father's belongings. Weapons, books. But there was something else that my old man really wanted to pass down. He wanted me to inherit his mission, ensuring that Dimitri ascends the throne. Or so I believe.
What do you think? Well, that's quite a task that you were asked.
What do you think? Remember the Death Knight who stabbed me 5 years ago? Of course you do. How could you forget? Well, it turns out he's a general in the Imperial Army, claiming victories on dozens of battlefields. But it looks like he's not at Deirdre. Like every man in my life, he's run away from me. And he better run. One day I'm gonna find that guy and pay him back for what he did to me.
I'm just kind of curious on how she's going to go about doing that.
This experience is critical.
Alright then.
What do you think?
Speaking with the capital recaptured, I desire to call him Your Majesty rather than Your Highness. He would refuse my desire, rightfully pointing out that he has not as yet been crowned. However, the day this war is ended, the Church has placed the crown upon his head, then he will truly be our king, and I will call him Your Majesty at last. I must go hear the reports from our spies. There is something worrying me, and... No, it can wait. I shall tell you more when our information is more concrete.
Alright. I hope you do, because it seems to be bothering you quite a bit.
This experience is critical.
You plan to aid Claude, do you not? Huh, I think that is absolutely marvelous. Being opposing forces at the Battle of Gronder was ill-fated. It hurt to side against him. I am happy that things have taken a brighter turn now.
I agree.
I thought there was a chance that Cornelia had captured Lady Rhea, but it seems that is not the case. Our next foe, Lord Arundel, was once a pious adherent to the Seros Creed. His contributions to the Church stopped quite abruptly some time ago. I think it is likely the man knows something.
Maybe.
Cornelia Arnhem. That's a familiar name, yes. She once studied in the Empire.
Oh.
My understanding is, shortly after I left the Empire, she did as well. Unlike myself, Cornelia traveled to the kingdom. Apparently, she halted a plague, and was rewarded with a quite powerful appointment. That such an outstanding researcher should fall to such depravity. Sickening, Professor, and quite sad.
So she was actually originally someone from the Empire. No wonder she was Empire sympathetic.
Even if we do enter Alliance territory, we're not gonna find Lady Rhea there. I wish we could leave Claude be and go attack the Empire. I suppose if we can't beat the Empire forces here, then we can't get into the Empire lands, can we? I guess that just means it's hard work time, huh, Professor?
Yep. I think that's everything. Oh, no. We still got some other people to talk to.
Hey, you.
There's a lot of people.
Using the Great Bridge of Myrden as a base, we'll spread out and cover as much ground as possible in our search for Her Grace. Judging by the information we've gathered, the most suspicious location is definitely the Imperial capital, the Hrim territory, whose leader is a mere puppet, and the Ire territory, whose leader was deposed and disappeared. The Empire has a lot of places with suspicious happenings. It's certainly worth investigating. But it won't do to take too much time in relieving the Alliance army. Please, hurry.
So House Regan has regained its influence in the Alliance and is gathering forces. Claude always was somewhat inscrutable. It's strange somehow to hear talk of his brilliance as the leader of the Alliance.
The pro-imperialist lords who have let the Empire in have their hands tied. Houses Ordelia and Gloucester are exposed and likely caught off guard. That must mean that Claude's allies are...
I'd say probably Daphne.
Without a doubt, she is providing reinforcements. She has always supported Claude. Whatever the situation, Claude's military strength is lacking. And what's more, they suffered casualties at Gronder Field. I don't know how long the Alliance forces will be able to hold out against the Empire. We've got to move quickly, or we may be too late.
That is true. Alright. So in the next one, we will continue through the month and see how things more or less pan out for us. Hopefully we can get to Claude in time and help save his life. In the meantime, we will be doing that prologue that came up this month, as well as a couple of other fights in the next one, and I think we'll finish up finish most of the month, the video after that. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.